Imagine a world consumed by religious fervor, where every action and decision is influenced by a higher calling. Two great faiths, Christianity and Islam, stood at the forefront of this fervor, locked in a bitter struggle for the Holy Land, a region of immense spiritual significance. This was the era of the Crusades, a tumultuous period of holy wars that spanned centuries, marked by relentless battles and shifting alliances. From the 11th to the 13th centuries, waves of European warriors, driven by faith and ambition, surged eastwards, embarking on perilous journeys. They sought to capture Jerusalem, the sacred city revered by Christians, Jews, and Muslims alike, a city that held the promise of divine favor. These crusades, a collision of cultures and beliefs, left an indelible mark on history, shaping the destiny of Europe and the Middle East. The interactions between these diverse groups led to both conflict and cooperation. The clash between Christendom and the Islamic world reverberated across 3 continents, leaving a legacy of religious intolerance, cultural exchange, and geopolitical upheaval. The echoes of these events can still be felt today, reminding us of the profound impact of this historical period. In 1095, Pope Urban II issued a call that would reverberate through history. At the Council of Clermont, he spoke of the suffering of Christian pilgrims in the Holy Land, allegedly persecuted by the Seljuk Turks. He urged his listeners to take up arms, to embark on a righteous war, to liberate Jerusalem from Muslim rule. Urban's words fell on fertile ground in a deeply religious Europe. The Pope's promise of spiritual rewards for those who fought in the Holy Land resonated powerfully. The response was overwhelming, with men and women from across Europe answering the call to arms. The First Crusade was a chaotic and brutal affair. Tens of thousands of crusaders, many of them ill-equipped and untrained peasants, set out on the long journey to the Holy Land. They marched across Europe, enduring hunger, disease, and attacks by hostile forces. Despite the hardships, the Crusaders pressed on, driven by their faith and the promise of eternal salvation. In 1097, they achieved a significant victory at the Battle of Dorylaeum, weakening Seljuk control over Anatolia. In June 1099, the Crusaders launched their assault on Jerusalem, capturing the city after a 6-week siege. The initial success of the First Crusade established a precarious Christian presence in the Holy Land. In the late 12th century, a new power emerged: Saladin, a brilliant military commander and devout Muslim. Saladin rose to prominence through a combination of military skill, political acumen, and unwavering piety. In 1187, he achieved a decisive victory over the Crusader army at the Battle of Hattin, capturing Jerusalem. Saladin's victory sent shockwaves through Christendom, prompting calls for a new crusade to reclaim Jerusalem. The stage was set for a renewed clash of civilizations, this time with even higher stakes. The fall of Jerusalem to Saladin ignited a firestorm of religious zeal in Europe. The news spread like wildfire, reaching every corner of the continent and stirring the hearts of kings, knights, and commoners alike. The call to arms was clear: reclaim the holy city from Muslim control. The Third Crusade, led by Richard the Lionheart, Philip II of France, and Frederick Barbarossa, was a testament to the enduring allure of Jerusalem. These monarchs, each with their own ambitions and rivalries, united under a common cause. Their armies, composed of thousands of knights and soldiers, embarked on a perilous journey across Europe and the Mediterranean. Richard the Lionheart emerged as the dominant figure, known for his courage and military prowess. His reputation as a formidable warrior was well earned, and his leadership inspired his troops. Tales of his bravery spread far and wide, cementing his legacy as one of history's great military leaders. Richard's victory at the Battle of Arsuf secured a vital victory for the Crusaders, allowing them to recapture the port city of Jaffa. This strategic win provided the Crusaders with a crucial foothold on the coast, enabling further operations in the region. However, despite his victories, Richard was unable to retake Jerusalem. The city's formidable defenses and Saladin's strategic acumen proved too challenging. The Crusaders, weary and depleted, faced the harsh reality that their ultimate goal remained out of reach. The Treaty of Jaffa in 1192 granted Christian pilgrims access to Jerusalem, a significant concession from Saladin. This agreement marked a temporary peace, allowing pilgrims to visit the sacred sites without fear of persecution. Though the crusade did not achieve its primary objective, it left a lasting impact on the region and the participants. The Treaty of Jaffa provided a temporary respite in the struggle for the Holy Land. However, the Crusader states, weakened by internal divisions and facing renewed Muslim pressure, were in a precarious position. Over the next century, the Crusaders launched several more crusades, but none achieved the success of the First Crusade. One by one, the Crusader states fell to Muslim armies. In 1268, the Mamluks captured Antioch, a major blow to the remaining Crusader presence. Finally, in 1291, the Mamluks captured Acre, marking the end of the Crusades as a significant military endeavor. The Crusades, though ultimately a failure for Christendom, left an indelible mark on history. These series of religious wars, spanning from the late 11th to the late 13th centuries, were initially launched to reclaim Jerusalem and other holy sites from Muslim control. However, their impact extended far beyond the battlefield. They had a profound impact on the political, economic, and cultural landscape of both Europe and the Middle East. The Crusades altered the course of history, reshaping borders and influencing the governance of nations. They also facilitated the exchange of knowledge, ideas, and technologies between the two regions. The Crusades stimulated trade between East and West, as European merchants established trading posts in the Levant. This newfound trade brought spices, silk, and other exotic goods to Europe, enriching its economy and leading to the rise of powerful merchant classes in cities like Venice and Genoa. The Crusades left a troubling legacy of religious intolerance and violence. The fervor and zealotry that fueled these wars often resulted in brutal massacres and deep-seated animosities that have echoed through the centuries. The massacres of Jews and the brutal treatment of Muslims stained the image of Christendom. These actions not only caused immense suffering, but also sowed the seeds of mistrust and conflict that persist to this day. Understanding the Crusades is essential to understanding the roots of many modern conflicts and the complex relationship between the West and the Middle East. By studying this turbulent period, we gain insights into the historical forces that continue to shape our world.